What's up? This is Twisted Nick, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Mattel Intellivision. So, let's check it out. Released in October of 1979, the Intellivision was Mattel's first home video game console. It was also named other things to gather a wider market, like in the Sears stores it was called the Super Video Arcade, and in Radio Shack it was called the Tandyvision 1, which no one probably bought because it was called the Tandyvision 1. That's a horrible name, and it makes me want to puke. So if they were trying to reach a wider audience, then they probably failed. But Super Video Arcade sounds cool though. I like the console design a lot, and I love how old-fashioned it looks. It's got that fine wood texture. It's beautiful. So here's your on and off switch, the reset button, the basic stuff. The Intellivision's main competition was obviously the Atari 2600. It boasted that it had better graphics than the Atari, and while the graphics were an improvement, it doesn't matter because the games were not better in the slightest. The main reason is perhaps the controller. Why? Well, it sucks. What is this? Is it a phone or a controller? Do we really need a number pad on it? Like, what is this? It also has this weird disc, which is really stiff, and it's also a button, and there's two fire buttons on each side. So if someone would like to explain to me why you need 17 buttons to play a game like Sea Battle or Star Raider or whatever, I'd be glad to listen. It looks fitting when you put it back onto the console, but they do suck because half the time you use all these weird button combinations on the keypad and it's just so stupid and unnecessary. A lot of them had controller overlays, which helps out a little bit, but really, is this necessary? And they're hardwired into the console, so you can't swap it out with an Atari or a Genesis remote like the ColecoVision could. Have something like this. Not this. Now let's talk about the cartridges. They look okay. Some of them don't have any artwork on them, but that's alright though. You can enjoy such games like Pitfall, Donkey Kong, Frogger, Space Armada, and so much more. I really like the boxes for these games. You open it up and it's like reading a book. The boxes look great on the shelf, so it's nice for collecting. Alright, so let's play this thing and take a look at some games. Alright, let's see. Let's try Frogger. I have no idea what to do. You have all these weird button combinations that you have to do. I don't know how to do it exactly. And even if I did know, it'd be wicked awkward, because all the buttons are spread out. If you don't have an overlay, then you're screwed because you won't have any idea what to do. I will say the disc on the controller works fairly well with sports games like tennis and baseball. But with other games, it just overcomplicates things. The Intellivision didn't have very much third-party support until around the end of its lifespan. This was also technically the first console rivalry. You saw all the time throughout the 90s of Sega and Nintendo making each other look like crap. But this was like really the first time that really ever happened.
Here's an easy question for you. Which of these games is the closest thing to the real thing? A, Intellivision Major League Baseball. B, Atari Baseball. Here they are again, close up. A, Intellivision. B, Atari. If you thought A, Intellivision, you're absolutely correct. You see, I told you this question was easy.
I wish they still did that sort of thing today, but nowadays they think gamers are smart and very intelligent people. Which for the most part is true if you exclude the fanboys from the mix. And Sony kinda did that at this past E3 in 2013 about the whole Xbox One DRM thing. But it was only implied. Back in these days, they didn't care. They'd come flat out and say, "You suck, Nintendo. Anything that can be sucked, you suck it." Or something like that. But no one has balls anymore. But yeah, the Intellivision was kinda what started that whole thing. They also made these weird peripherals for the thing, like the IntelliVoice voice synthesis module, which made your games talk, which was actually, believe it or not, pretty revolutionary for the time. The Odyssey 2 also had that sort of thing, with the Odyssey 2 voice module. But yeah, I guess Mattel was trying to copy them too. There was also this adapter that allowed you to play Atari 2600 games. They wanted that big piece of pie that Atari was getting, which the ColecoVision also had. That just goes to show how much Coleco and Mattel wanted to be the Atari 2600, but failed. Well, they didn't fail, but they didn't do as well. Face it, Atari was a monopoly.